Hello, everyone, and we're back again to another exciting episode of Bamboo Street. This one is all back to the motherland of Africa, where my Malian people seized the gold for failure to pay taxes. And they didn't seize how much they needed. They said, "We're taking it all." You know what I mean? Anyway, Walter, give them the details.
Last year, we did a video on Mali where the soldiers took over the government, ran the president over, and seized control.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they want to remove French as their national language. They speak French. They don't want anything to do with France. They want to form their own language now. They want to have their own currency and everything. So anything foreign.
No, it's okay. It's good for them. If they could keep that energy and keep it that way, then they're going to be like a sovereign country as Russia. See, Russia have their own language, they have their own land, they have their own gold, they have their own everything, they have their own technology, independence, man.
Yeah. But
And they don't have to listen to what the US say.
Yeah.
You know, if Mali can actually do that, because one thing we talked about before, when you in order to become your sovereign own country, you need to be able to stand independently. And why a lot of countries listen to the US is because at the end of the day, they depend on them.
Yeah.
And when the US say, hey, you need to accept the trans and the gays, you just have to accept it.
True.
Even though you don't want it or you don't believe in it. So I support them on that.
Yeah, but what you say makes sense. If only they can keep to that line of reasoning.
Yeah.
But they move from one Western colony to, they move from, let's say, Canada, the US, or EU to Russia, because Russia is
So now they're gonna speak Russian now.
No, Russia is providing security down there and everything, and you have the flags flying all over, you know.
So like for me, if you're just changing countries, swapping countries, then that's stupidity.
Yeah, but in their mind, Russia is the less of the two evils, right? So,
in that kind of case, if I were them, I would be like those small tourism country. I'm biting from each side, man. I ain't picking sides.
Yeah, but
What you picking sides for?
Some of these African countries, majority of African countries don't know how to sit on the fence.
Yeah, like sit on the fence and just be a politician, navigate between, take what this person have, take what that person have, and build up your economy.
Yeah, they don't want that.
But if I'm just switching France for Russia, then that's stupidity.
Yeah, it's just like a girl that have had like 1,000 different divorces and still looking for a husband. That's
Just looking for the next one with the bigger bank account and the bigger house and can take her shopping more times,
Yeah, that's what some of these African countries do. So this from First News. You see the screen?
Yeah.
All right, so hold on, let me show you the map real quick. So this is Mali, this is Ghana, this is Ivory Coast. So all these people have gold. So it's not like
Burkina Faso.
Oh, so Burkina Faso is here on top of us.
That's my favorite African country these
Why?
days. I like the leader, man. I saw in some news recently he's making some moves.
Yeah, he's making moves.
He's making some moves that made me proud, like trying to build some manufacturing plants over there. Like they're producing their own tomato sauce and something like that, which is good.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me not
so they are on
distract
top
you.
of us here.
West African country's military junta has tightened its grip on foreign companies that are mining gold. Their latest target, Canada's Barrick Gold. Malian authorities have seized tons of gold from a mining site operated by Barrick Gold as the junta-ruled nation looks to get a fairer distribution of revenue from its mining sector. This has left the Canadian firm scrambling to protect its operations in the country. We bring you more details in our next report.
In the world's third largest gold producer, Africa, the precious metal is seen as a symbol of wealth, power, and majesty. It is also seen as a means of exchange should a country's currency collapse. Many countries in the continent, such as Mali, Ghana, and DR Congo, among others, have seen companies from the West set up their mining operations to get hold of this difficult to extract metal whose prices have increased in recent months. But a growing anti-West sentiment, especially in the West African country of Mali, has made it difficult for foreign mining companies to operate. Ever since the military came to power in Mali, it has been demanding a greater share of revenues from the Western mining companies by negotiating new contracts. This is to bolster its government revenues as prices of the precious metal rally to record highs.
So, hold on. The mining site is in Mali, right?
Yeah.
So originally, it belonged to them,
Yeah.
and then they lease it
Yeah.
or something.
Mm-hmm.
So the lease is up?
No, the lease is not up. That's the problem. It's like new government, new rules.
New government, new rules,
You
man.
know, so what?
That's just like if in China, if like Tesla has a lease, right? The lease
Yeah.
is not up, and then China like, yo, you know what? We need to renegotiate.
You are selling more cars.
You're
now.
selling too much cars. We need to take a percentage on this thing, man.
It's
Yo,
wild.
that's crazy.
Because now the price of gold has risen,
So-
but
They should be making more money though, because they're taking a percentage, right?
yeah, they're paying percentage and giving people employment. They're paying tax and everything. But then they are just looking at the price of gold and calculating it against how much they are getting from the tax revenue. So they are not looking at the infrastructure, the workers' payment. They are not looking at anything. They are just looking at, oh, you made 2 billion or 2.5 billion last year and we only received 600,000. No, we can't do that. So they are just looking at the net profit. They are not looking at the gross and everything. They are not looking at nothing. They are just, oh, you made $2.5 billion last year. We should be making half of that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's their argument.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. For me, I just see it as that's not how you do business.
Yeah. Why you're not doing business with normal people, man?
That's not how you do business, man. It's like we have a deal, okay, we stick to the deal. When the contract is up,
We
we renegotiate, and I would renegotiate in a way that is profitable
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, or don't renegotiate at all. Now you just have the mind to get out.
Yeah, it's just like what I'm just thinking is like, as they say, when no one wins a negotiation.
Now everybody lives with some sort of regret. Like, shit, I should have renegotiated harder.
Because
That's a good negotiation if nobody wins. You know?
No one wins. It's like at the end of the day, everyone feel like
They lost something.
they lost something. I could have took some more. I could have gotten for more. As time goes on, it's like the terms, you always want to change it.
Yeah.
So how long before the lease is up though?
I think hopefully the report gives you that.
And its
Okay.
latest target is a Canadian company called Barrick Gold. Authorities in Mali, Africa's second largest gold producer, have started enforcing a provisional order to seize gold stock at a mine operated by Barrick Gold. Around 3 metric tons of gold has been flown out by the Malian authorities from the company's Loulo-Gounkoto mining complex in western Mali over the weekend, which reports suggest is valued at $245 million. Loulo-Gounkoto accounts for around 14% of Barrick's 2025 estimated gold output. This prompted the company to suspend mining operations in Mali's Loulo-Gounkoto mines on Monday. In its letter to the Malian government, Barrick said the seizure of the gold meant it was no longer covered by Barrick's insurance. The company added that it was awaiting official confirmation of the proper receipt by Malian Solidarity Bank, a government entity. The seizure of Barrick Gold followed a warning letter to the Canadian company earlier this month from a judge in Mali that said 3 tons of gold could be seized.
You see, this is why I hate gold mining, though. Never liked gold mining. The same thing they are. Maybe Ghana is trying to. We've been doing this since the early 1900s. But look, you see the environmental damage this thing does too. So nothing is gonna grow here. If it rains, it's gonna be like a portal to whatever. And then you see people are living close, and they just don't mine gold. They use all these other different chemicals. So these people are going to be breathing these things, these pollutants, and they think, why do we have cancer all of a sudden? So these are some of the problems that the government is not addressing. The government is only looking at the profit margin.
Well, they don't really care.
Yeah, because gold shouldn't be like mined this way. It means there's no geophysics going on. They're just digging anywhere to see where the gold is. Because
that means the issue is with the mining company.
Yeah.
And the poor like security measures in place in Mali, because like if this was being done maybe in China or one of those developed countries, they would have like mining rules and regulations. You have to do it this way.
Yeah.
And for these kind of countries, they could adopt the same rules that the Westerners do, but they don't really care about that. They just care about the profit margin. As long as they're making enough profit, they can just go on. And to me, since they're already jumping to this, okay, we want to renegotiate terms. They could add all of that in the renegotiation.
Yeah.
Not only about the money, but the way that they mine it. And if these companies can't deal with it, they can make them leave.
Yeah.
And they can mine it themselves.
That would even make much more sense.
Because like right now, I think you're sitting down at the table. Since we already being rebels and we're renegotiating, then I'm okay with mining it myself.
Yeah.
Because everything is basically set up. The know-how.
Yeah. Yeah.
The staff, the people, everything is there. And the equipments, I could just buy over the equipment and have the people do it. Then they collect the 100% profit and ship it to the same suppliers that you have been using for the longest while. Yeah. And give them a better price on the buy.
Yeah, these people...
If they want to be the rebels.
Yeah, they're going to start fighting over the gold resources very soon, because these people really don't care about the long-term health of the country
or the impact on the environment.
They just want the money now. They want it now because these guys know they're going to be assassinated very soon. Some of them know, they are aware of these things.
Okay.
You know, because
and they probably leave the country and go to France or go to the US.
Yeah. You know. So they are aware of it. They just want.
Mali's economy ministry also claimed the 2 mines operated by Barrick in the country owed a total of $5.5 billion to the government, a much higher figure than previously estimated.
$5.5 billion. And you're seizing 200 something.
To be sure, the company owns 80% of the mining complex in Loulo-Gounkoto.
How is this even possible, CJ? You're looking at the numbers?
The company owns 80%.
The government...
20.
Yo, who signed the deal though? That's a problem. This is not... So, in Africa, there's something we call like especially for world drilling, geophysics analysis. For oil discovery is expensive. So most African countries don't want to spend money
to find the oil.
To find the oil. So what they do is they give like intent. They call it intent of discovery to foreign agencies, and they use their resources to do the discovery. If they don't find anything, we don't pay you anything. But if they discover something, then we negotiate maybe 60-40, 60 to you, 40 to the government because we didn't really do nothing. Then you sign maybe 5 or 6 year lease. That is all. Gold, you don't really have to do much.
Yeah.
Because gold is always constant.
20% of your own resources.
That's wild.
No wonder they have to renegotiate. Now I understand why the rebels have to be rebels. And most likely the person who signed that deal at that point in time took some under the counter money.
They always do.
Sign it and just bounce.
Yeah. There's no way China or any other country in the world will give a foreign entity 80% of their natural resources.
The earnings from it.
That's wild.
That's wild.
And let's say 80% of the mining complex. That is if they are if they are giving you true accounting. Because with this gold, you can never really give true accounting of what
was digged out from the ground. They could always hide some.
You see?
They could always sell some like in the black market or something.
They can always do a lot of these things.
Because they mine some, this go there, this go there. He's like,
so how would you be able to account and say, okay, today we got 1 billion from mining the gold? They can always tell you we got 500,000 because there are no checks and balances. The government only wants his 20%. So if you made 200,000 and you give him 20,000, say what's this 20 for? That's your 20%. He is not doing anything, no hard labor from the government, so he's just...
And I'm sure they don't have any employees in the company.
Hell no.
Like with China, they will put an employee in the system to at least know what's going on.
No, these people don't care. Some of these governments look at this as cheap labor. We are not doing anything. We are just getting money every month. You know? So, and they know that we are only going to be in power for 8 years. Mali was a democracy until last year. So the government knew they are only going to be there for 8 years. So if it takes under the table deal and I leave, let the next government deal with it. So the military junta is the next government. So yeah, that makes sense. Then renegotiation is really important with this 80%. It's crazy, man.
Goto, with Mali government owning only 20%. However, this is not the first time that the Canadian company has come under fire from the military-led authorities in Mali. Barrick Gold and Mali have been at odds with each other since 2023 over a contract based on new mining rules. The row has escalated several times, with Mali detaining 4 senior executives in November and issuing an arrest warrant for Barrick Gold CEO Mark Bristow in December for charges of money laundering. Reports suggest that Mali, which has struggled for years with jihadi violence and high levels of poverty and hunger, had previously demanded about $500 million in unpaid taxes from Barrick. But the company denied any wrongdoing and said it had paid Mali $85 million in October. Mali has similarly been pressuring other foreign companies too. In November 2020.
Okay, see, let me show you something. So what you're seeing here has nothing to do with Barrick Gold. What you are seeing here is individual entrepreneurship.
People trying to mine
their own gold. This thing happens in Ghana too. People do their own entrepreneurship. Like, so every year somebody's always getting trapped in, and people are buried alive all every throughout the year in Ghana
because they realize the gold is nearby.
They thought it's nearby, so they dig. So they don't really have
the equipment.
Not even the equipment. If they are digging, they don't protect against the walls. They just dig a hole. They just digging holes, and they are not protecting the walls like using like
to barricade the walls.
Yeah, no, but they are just drilling. They are not using any drilling machine. They are shovel and pickers, and sometimes they go 100 meters, and the only way they come up is this pulley. You see what's happening, and these sticks or this bamboo, I don't know what to call it.
Like it's not even well reinforced.
You see what I mean? So this is why people die every year in Africa across any country that mines gold.
But has anybody from that method got rich?
From
like digging, getting some gold like this, and then becoming rich one day?
Hell no. I've never seen a rich gold miner.
It's like they start that way, but in the end, they end up somewhere.
They die down there.
And
Yeah.
no one still doesn't learn from it.
But then you raise an important question. I think it's not because they are not able to find the gold. I think they think the gold is always going to be there. So you see them around in Ghana. Anytime they come up, sometimes they spend weeks down there. But anytime they come up, maybe alcohol, they spend the money on the unnecessary evil.
So they make some money.
Oh, they make some money.
But it's maybe they never end up getting rich doing it because they end up spending back the money because they believe they're gonna always get that money.
Yeah, and then one thing too about I'm talking in terms of Ghanaians. They come up after 1 week of digging, they spend all that money in 1 week and they borrow against future mining. So they are always borrowing. Oh, I'm entering the hole next week. So can I get, let's say, 2,000 RMB? So you give it to them and like, man, I don't feel like going down there this week, man. After Christmas, I'll go. So the longer they are outside, they keep on borrowing. So by the time they enter the hole, they are already in debt like 80% of their yearly revenue. You know, so that's how these people are always poor. So they are always digging somewhere, always digging.
They're not disciplined.
Nah, there's no discipline. These people are not educated because there's no way an educated person is entering a hole.
Two sticks and a wire.
You are not entering, bro. You are never entering.
Yeah, I'm not going down there.
And the only form of light is the headlight they put on their
head.
Yeah, that's the only light they get.
They don't care, man. They don't care.
And it's not like there's anything the government can do because the land doesn't belong to the state.
It's like residential land.
Yeah, so in Ghana, you own your land, you own the land. So whatever you do on your land is what you do on your own land.
Yeah, like same thing in my country.
So people just...
It's just that there's no gold.
Yeah.
If I can find a gold.
December 2024, Australia's Resolute Mining also came under fire after its CEO and 2 executives were detained in capital Bamako. The mining company had to pay $160 million to the government to help resolve the tax dispute. However, this bulldozing on companies has not been limited to Mali. Mali's neighbors, Niger and Burkina Faso, have also increased pressure on Western companies. Burkina Faso said in October 2024 that the country had planned to withdraw mining permits from some foreign companies and would seek to produce more of its own gold.
You see that?
See, Burkina Faso is trying to do their own thing,
Yeah.
man, but damn. They just down,
They
man.
just go down, man.
Just down.
To the glory hole. You don't know what you mean. Yo, this shit is wild, bro. Every year in Ghana, somebody is dead. When government's like, okay, you're going to solve this issue next year, nobody does anything about it. Because to the government, at least, I don't have to give them jobs.
Yeah, they find their own jobs.
See?
And they could pay their own health care.
Man, Africa, bro.
In Niger, authorities took control of the French nuclear fuels company Orano-Somer uranium mine in December. So as West Africa tightens its grip on mining operations, Western companies are scrambling to protect their operations in the junta-ruled countries.
Yeah. So hopefully what they are doing is really good. If only they can keep it to themselves and maybe grow from it, develop the country from these natural resources, you know. But if they're gonna just take it from the Canadian and the French and they're gonna hand it over to the Chinese and the Russians, and
It's like going around in the same cycle.
Because I don't think they came out with that idea, CJ. They did
Someone
not come
probably-
out with that idea.
Someone else told them to seize it, and after you seize it, we're gonna take over the operations. We're gonna give you XYZ.
We're gonna give you a better deal. It was 80-20 in the past. We can make 60-40. You take 40, we take 60. Because there's no way those guys came out with those ideas. They don't know how much the elf or whatever gold the company's mining generates. They don't know.
Yeah, like as they say, God ain't making no more earth.
Yeah.
God
they
ain't
don't
making
know.
any more gold. God ain't
Nah.
making any more oil. We have what we have.
You have what you have. But it's wild though.
And the resources are running out.
Yeah,
So we're
right
trying to
now.
go to space.
Yeah.
We want to find some resources on
Yeah.
Mars now. Hence Elon Musk.
Yeah, oh, see. What a coincidence.
Why they put Elon Musk at the end of that video?
You're space mining,
Yeah,
man.
man, we gotta go mine space
You
next,
have to.
man.
You have to, man. I just hope they don't turn Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger into Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe did the same thing, where Mugabe took over the government, and then in the past, Zimbabwe used to export a lot of agriculture because the whites dominated the agriculture field. They improved the farming and infrastructure and everything, but they owned majority of the lands.
Mm-hmm.
In the winter, they don't burn. But in Africa, most of the farm, they just set the farm on fire. So what are you doing? So we are rejuvenating the earth. I'm like, you can't do that. Let's say they plant corn, right? And they plug all the corn. Instead of cutting everything nicely, they just set fire to the whole thing. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
You know?
They were not educated in the science of farming.
No, bro. They were like, man, who's gonna cut this thing? We already go. We wanted to just set fire to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. And how long does it take you to be able to plant there again?
Until next, when it start raining, and then they make these people raw.
Because like for me, if you cut it and even if you root it all out, right, you can start planting the next day.
They don't want to do that. That's
And
not great.
when you cut it and you root it up, you can even chop up that plant and
Yeah.
bury it back in the soil. Okay.
Let it, that was how you rejuvenate the earth. These people don't want hard work. You just set it on fire, you know. So the whites were really doing in Zimbabwe. The whites were really taking care of a lot of corn, maize, export a lot to South Africans. Mugabe was like, "Now African lands belongs to Africans. So if you are a white man and own land, you have to give it to the next African you see. Just give it to him. Just tell him, hey, CJ, that's your land now." And the whites actually did it.
Yeah, but let's have him as a CEO of, nothing. He
Yeah.
doesn't have to do anything,
Nah.
but it's yours. He's like, oh, I'm a boss,
I'm a
man.
boss
I
now."
can go drinking every day, and they're giving me money every day, and I'm driving a cool car. If I'm a white man, I'll do this.
Yeah.
I have him as a pawn there because he don't know shit.
Yeah, but no. It's not like you have him as CEO. The land doesn't belong to you anymore. It belongs to the African now. So you just tell, hey,
Yeah, I just find an African who likes to drink and party, and I put it in his name, and you get to
Yeah.
drink and party every day, and we take care of you.
yeah. So Mugabe nationalized all white-owned lands. Now look at Zimbabwe. Are they doing the farming? Hell no. Hell no. Because if they wanted to farm in the beginning, they would have started long ago.
But
So,
farm work is hard work, though.
it's hard,
It's one of the hardest work, but it's actually
rewarding.
the work that we should be doing as people.
I love farming. Anyway.
Anyway, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Peace and love. Take care of yourself. A lot of crazy stuff is going on in the world. Let us know what you think about Mali. If you think they're on the right track, or are you like me, like what Burkina Faso is doing? Anyway, peace and love, and see you guys in the next one. Bless.